Welcome in Kevin Smith of Crescat Capital, who's joining us this morning. Kevin, it looks like a huge round of stimulus, that plan is finally being prepared, and we may actually see it come through. What's this going to mean for the markets?
Well, the market may experience a little bit of relief on that news. We certainly think there's a lot bigger problems at play. That regardless of whether there's Fed stimulus or not, that we've got record valuations here in the U.S. markets and election uncertainty that causes a lot of apprehension about the potential tax regime coming up here, and there's just a lot of risk here in the markets today.
There definitely is a lot of risk in terms of the way we've seen tech under pressure. There's been a lot of talk about rotation as well. Kevin, which side of the fence are you on? How much more pressure do you feel we're going to see on big tech?
Well, the valuations are really insane in a lot of ways. I mean, many companies, trading at 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 times revenues. I mean, it has the reminiscences of the dot-com bubble on steroids, even in some cases. These are companies that have been that do have earnings growth and good fundamentals, relatively speaking. But there's one group of stocks that we think has the best relative fundamentals in the market today, and that's the one that benefits. The one industry that benefits more than any other from all of the record amount of stimulus in the system today, whether it's fiscal stimulus or monetary stimulus, and that's the precious metals mining sector that we are extremely bullish on. And after the pullback that we had here recently over the past month and a half or so, most of it in the past week, we think it's an incredible setup here for another big leg up.
Sure. Kevin, we're less than 40 days away from the U.S. elections. You think the House of Democrats will manage to push through and get the $2.4 trillion COVID aid bill passed?
Well, that's really hard for me to say. There is so much difficulty coming to an agreement across the aisle here between Democrats and Republicans ahead of the election. It really seems almost impossible. But what do I know? I think the Fed has really been goading the fiscal policymakers into doing something. But part of the whole plan behind all of the vocalness of all the Fed governors that have been paraded out there in the news recently is really, I think, to give them cover that if there is no fiscal stimulus package, that the Fed's going to have to step in and do something. So either way, I think we're gonna see some action and a lot of uncertainty and really taking it right down to the wire here.
Sure. Kevin, great to have you on the show. We'll let you go on that note.